Welcome to Nico Props, and on this episode we are making a Viking round shield with a steel boss. So what I'm actually doing here at the moment, we're going to get straight into this because we don't need to delay. I've got some constructional timber that I had kicking around outside. I just dried it out. I think it's Canadian lumber standard, which is why it's got those rounded edges. Just cutting it up into sections with just a panel saw, basically. Cutting the edges off using the table saw to get rid of those rounded edges. Now a Viking round shield is usually between 7 and 8 planks wide and about 8mm thick. So using my table saw, stripping out planks here that are about 4mm thick so that I can go side to side or opposing directions. Give them a quick sand just to smooth them out, ready for gluing. Putting eight pieces in there, bunch of PVA all over it. This is just PVA Wood Glue, and then just chuck some boards and a bunch of weight on there, as much weight as possible. Get some leather scraps here. This is for the edging, cutting it all into strips. Take the weights off now that that's dried overnight. I'm going to have to give that a quick sand. It's not completely dry, so what I've done here is created a box, and this box with a hairdryer in it will help with this dry out quicker while I'm working on other things. I think I gave that a couple of hours to dry out. Going back to the leather strips, cutting them into equal sized pieces, about 75 millimeters long. Go back to the actual main board, give it a quick sand, get rid of any bits and pieces, find the center point, and then using a scrap of wood I created a compass. I actually screwed the board to the table as well to stop it from moving. That's the outer measurement, about 60 something centimeters, and then the inner boss about 14. Onto the bandsaw now. Cut around that outside perimeter, get rid of all the excess. That's all I'm going to do with the bandsaw on this particular occasion. I'll do the middle with a jigsaw later. And then onto sanding the edges a bit. So getting just a palm sander there, just square up those edges, get rid of any bits of problem. Look, absolutely knackered the edge of that. Put a fresh bit of sandpaper on, whack around the edges, job done. Now a mixture of PVA and some acrylic paint gives me a nice sealant and also a good white background to actually paint on. I'm putting this on quite thick and heavy, try and fill in some of those gaps in between the boards that have actually formed. I'm not too worried about it because this kind of adds some character anyway. I did give it a quick spray off camera with some red paint, and using an offcut of some ash I made a handle. Using the projector, trace on my design. You can also use a piece of acetate and a lamp. There is my design, lovely dragon, Celtic style dragon, and then some basically just acrylic paints and a paintbrush. Go around everything very carefully around the edges, then paint into the middle. It's a fairly simple process, this. I know we've kind of rushed through this video and it feels a little bit rushed, but I feel that you don't need to see all of these processes for the actual length of time that they took. I think you just need to get the idea of how it was done. So, and obviously I'm going to do the eye a little bit later on with a little bit of white acrylic. All the time I'm doing this, the wood is still actually drying, the glue is still drying on that wood. There we go, that's that finish. Not bad, huh? So that'll take about half an hour to an hour to dry. And then we're on to the boss. So I actually didn't have time to forge this boss, otherwise I would have, so I bought one off of Amazon. Whacked it on the anvil to give it some texture. I say an anvil, on a tow hitch. Whacking the leather on here using upholstery pins going around the outside edge, and it's just literally just pushed on and hammered on. So this is some Phillips blue, cold blue. This is going to give that boss some texture, or make it look a bit more forged rather than that nice clean that we get. And then using those same upholstery pins, and I realise now I should have actually used some glue as well. Get it centered and then use the upholstery pins to hold it in place. And there we go, that is basically how I made my Viking shield. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Obviously this is a very quick and short video. I just wanted to show how this was made and give you a nice quick one. Alright, subscribe, like, and hit that notifications icon. Thanks.